First, live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Fox 12 Now. I'm Greg Nibbler. That is the most wintry shot that I could possibly find that we have. There's still some snow up there at Ski Bowl. It looks a little bit greener than maybe we'd all like it to be, but nonetheless, that's where we're at. Again, I'm Greg Nibbler. Thanks for joining us. We live stream here every weekday starting at 1 p.m. Pacific, covering all kinds of different topics, whether that's deeper dives with reporters, talking about events coming up, or talking about people from Oregon working in other places. And that's what we're going to be discussing here today. The Radio City Rockettes, of course, are iconic in New York for their many, many, many dance performances that they have coming around the Christmas time. And two of them, being from Oregon, they were able to join us. We had Sydney Mesher, we had Brooklyn Bronson, who were able to talk to me just about what that is like being a Rockette, what it's like coming from Oregon, specifically the Portland area, and making it over there. They give us a little bit of inside baseball, a lot of really great things to hear from with them. It was really nice to have some of their time during this super busy time for them. So let's go to the interview right now. Without further ado, here are Sydney and Brooklyn. Well, I am really excited to have joining us right now from New York City. I'm assuming that's where you're at right now because you're probably in the middle of a whole lot of performances. But I mean, Radio City Rockettes, there is hardly anything more famous than that when it comes to especially Christmas time around New York and just all the celebrations that go on with that and far beyond even that time. And what we're doing right now is talking about the Oregon connection, which is so cool. We've got Sydney and Brooklyn joining us right now. Thank you both for being here with us. And just so everybody can know, can you introduce yourselves?
Yes. Hi, I'm Sydney Mesher.
Hi, I'm Brooklyn Bronson.
And yeah, thanks for being here with me. You know, this is really, really cool to talk about this. So I guess, you know, the first question that I have is, maybe each one of you wants to take a turn on this. How does one journey from Oregon to ending up being, you know, in one of the most famous groups of all time?
Yeah, I'll start. I'm from Portland. I grew up in central Portland. I went to both Lincoln High School and Jefferson High School, where I was a Jefferson dancer. So started my dance training there. And then I ended up moving to New York City for college, where I attended Pace University and got my commercial dance BFA. And while I was in New York, I was opened my eyes to the world of Rockettes. I started to learn about the magic that is the show, the way it's just it's completely part of the culture in New York City. And to have a show that highlights dancing is so special. So I fell in love with it. I had always watched the Rockettes on the parade, but being in New York and seeing how important they are to the culture, I just wanted to be a part. So I fortunately fell in love with it and ended up coming here right after I graduated college, and I've been here since.
Wow. In Brooklyn?
Yeah. So I am originally from Tualatin, Oregon, and I went to school at Jesuit High School and graduated in the class of 2020. And I trained at Westside Dance Academy and Innovative Dance in Wilsonville and in Tigard. And my first ever dance teacher was Carla Weber, and she was a Radio City Rockette. A wonderful, amazing company that now I get to dance. And I was fortunate enough to move to New York a few years ago and auditioned and was lucky enough to have my first season last year. So.
Wow. So this is, I mean, pretty incredible to get in there. I can't imagine what the audition process is like. And, you know, this is obviously a very coveted position to be in. So what's it been like? Like, what's your day-to-day like being a part of this?
Oh, wow. Once we're in shows, which we are in the thick of it right now, we're open until January 4th of next year. And so we are both in the morning cast. So we'll show up at the theater pretty early on in the day. We typically do between 2 and 4 shows a day for our cast. Lots of hard work. But I like to get to the theater about 90 minutes before curtain. Brooklyn, I don't know if you'd like to get here a little bit.
A little bit earlier for me, but around that same time, just so I can stretch and make sure my body is all prepared for the shows we have lined up that day.
Yeah. And then just getting our hair and makeup done, warming up, making sure that we're hydrating, getting our bodies ready, all the things, and then we perform. So great job. Very lucky to be here.
That is a lot. That is a lot right there. Well, looking at it, you know, from talking about the Oregon roots and right here, you know, in the Portland area for both of you. So was there ever a point, you know, growing up where you had this desire to join the Rockettes? Did you learn about them, you know, growing up?
So obviously my dance teacher when I was a young girl was a Radio City Rockette in the 60s. And so she told me about the company, and I was fortunate enough to actually see the show when I was 7 and immediately fell in love. Another Oregonian, her name is Katie Wilson. She was a Rockette, and I was fortunate enough to see her and meet with her afterwards. And I just, immediately fell in love. And so I just continued work with that dream in my mind, and am now fortunate enough to say that I am one now. So yeah.
Right.
And I have a bit of a different story. I grew up watching the Rockettes at the Macy's Day Parade, which was one of my favorite things to watch every year on Thanksgiving. And then when I was much younger, the Rockettes used to have a touring production where they would go to different arenas. And fortunately, I got to see the touring production of the Rockettes when they came to Portland. And my studio actually performed an opening number for the Rockettes. So I got to do a little dance to open up the Rockettes performance in Portland, and then got to watch their tour at the time, which was really special to get a little taste of that experience in Portland. And so.
Amazing. Well, talking about, the performance going on right now, what's it been like, being a part of this in New York, and then just interacting with the public as well, just being able to go out and say, like, hey, I'm a Rockette?
It's a dream. It's really a dream come true. There's a lot of legacy with this job. I mean, the show's been around since 1933, so we're almost at 100 years. That's coming up. And so there's so much history, so many people, so many former Rockettes. So to really understand the legacy, it's a real honor to be able to be a part of that and to share that with people.
And it's like a lot of families, especially local, love coming to the show every year, and it's so special to be a part of their traditions. And so it's really cool.
Well, I mean, it really is. It's like an exclusive club. What's the coolest thing you learned about once you became a Rockette?
Oh, great question.
This is a fact that I learned once I was a part of the line, and it's that every Rockette has performed or paraded the Wooden Soldiers number, which has been in the show since 1933. The choreography has not changed. The costume has not changed. So it's really unique that every woman has had that same experience of doing that number. So I feel that once I learned that, I was very honored to perform that number.
Yeah, it's super special. I have a photo in my dressing room of my dance teacher who was a Rockette, and she's wearing the exact same costume that we wear now. And so it's just a great reminder of how incredible this job is, and the legacy of it is really special.
Yeah, following that timeline back to then, you mentioned, it's almost 100 years, but still having that consistency through all of that, and just this being such a, immense part of culture in New York, but well beyond that, and to be able to do that, that's really incredible. Something else I want to ask, just since, bringing back the Oregon side of things, what's the biggest thing that you miss right now from Portland or Oregon?
I would have to say like family time. We would always do the holiday Christmas cookie baking with my entire extended family, and I really truly miss some of those traditions. But I think it's special because I get to cultivate new traditions with my sisters here, and it's fun to see what other people have done during the holiday season, and I'll get to try whatever to do when we were younger.
I miss I would always walk around downtown and see the tree that we would have downtown in Portland, which it was a tradition of our family just to go admire the Christmas decorations, which fortunately we get to do that here with a different tree, maybe the Rockefeller tree, but I do miss that wholesome thing that we do going down to seeing all the decorations down there.
Have you had family and friends fly out to see you?
Yes.
Fortunately,
yes. Very, very fortunate. I just had my aunt and uncle come and visit. So it's been really awesome. I love when anyone from Oregon or just anywhere just comes to see the Rockettes, and it's so special to have an audience.
Fortunately, my parents have come a couple times too, sister as well, and my cousin's coming this weekend, so it's a family affair. It's really wonderful, yeah.
Nice. Well, everybody wants to come out and visit, and go see the show. So that makes sense. So that's really great that they've been able to do that. Okay, my last question here is, what is the one thing you would say to somebody out there who's maybe, a young dancer just getting into this right now? What would you say to them to encourage them if they wanted to become a Rockette?
I always love to say to just try to block out the noise and trust your gut. As performers, sometimes people have opinions, and you just have to believe that if it's your path, that it will make its way to you and it will find you. Just keep working hard and believe in yourself. And I think that's all you really can do is keep your head strong and keep trying.
Yeah, truly, just like never give up, because we're great examples of like two girls from Oregon getting to perform in one of the most iconic like precision dance companies in the world, and it's I just keep going. Keep doing it.
Well, you two obviously both did it. So thank you very much for joining us. Congratulations. I mean, I know you've been doing it for a while, but congratulations just again on that.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, such an incredible accomplishment. And best of luck. That is a lot of performances. I don't know how you do that, but obviously you're the pros.
Kicking.
Yeah, it's a lot of kicking. Yeah, that's you got to be in pretty good shape to do that. So thank you though.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having us.
Yes, thank you.
All right, there we go. That was Brooklyn and Sydney, both Rockettes from Oregon. So we've got more coming up here for Fox 12 now. So coming up at 1:30 p.m., we're going to be joined by Eric G. from Around the House Northwest. He's got some inexpensive ways you can spruce up your house before people start visiting for the holidays. That's always a good thing to do, so that we're going to be covering that. If you're watching on Facebook and YouTube, you'll see this feed end. We'll be back there at 1:30 with Eric G. But if you're watching on the website and the apps, we'll continue along with more. We are live here in the newsroom at Fox 12 Oregon. So lots of stuff happening here. And of course, if there's breaking news, we will bring you that as well. So if you're on social media, I'll bid adieu. I'll see you at 1:30. If not, on the website and apps, I'll talk to you in just a few. I'm Greg Nibbler.